get me.
Hi guys, my name's Barry and welcome back to the channel. I'm going to start doing reviews for Night of the Demons franchise. There is only 4 movies in the franchise, so it's going to be interesting to do a little review for each of these films. And we're starting off with the first one from 1988. Now, unfortunately for me, I didn't see this movie until I was an adult. Yep, until I was an adult. But although I didn't see it until I was an adult, I still have nostalgic feelings for it because it just feels like that really great mid to late 80s horror film that we all loved. All the classics that you get, and this is no exception. Even though I hadn't seen the film, I always knew about it. I saw the posters as a very young age. I went into the video store, wanted to rent the movie as a young kid. My parents wouldn't let me at the time, even though they let me watch horror films, but for some reason they just didn't want me to rent this film, so I never ever got to see the film until I was an adult, until Amazon shopping came out, Amazon online. I would order things from Amazon US, and then when I think it was the Anchor Bay DVD that came out at the time, it was a long time ago now, I ordered it, watched it as a young adult. I was a teenager and it blew me away. I do remember though, before I put the DVD into the DVD player, I was a little bit worried because I thought to myself, I'm going to be watching this film as an adult, maybe 20 years or 15 years after the movie came out, and I'm not sure it's going to hold up. But luckily and thankfully, when I watched the movie, it held up. I think what helped me was after seeing the film after 15, 20 years or whatever, when I first saw it, because I grew up knowing about the film, I still had that nostalgic connection. So even though I didn't see the movie, it felt like I did see the movie growing up, even though I didn't. It's strange. I love the premise of the film. It's very, very simple. A group of teenagers go to a haunted house on Halloween night, have a Halloween party, and accidentally awaken the dead. The teens start getting possessed one by one until there's only 2 left, Judy and Roger. And who says the black guy dies at the beginning?
And I'm getting out now before it's too late.
Roger is the only guy left and he's black, and the movie came out in 1988. It just shows you that this movie was way ahead of its time. The acting in the film was absolutely atrocious, but I think I can respect the acting now more than I did back then. I think though the acting is part of the charm of the film because the acting was so bad, but something about all the characters is all of them were interesting. The dialogue was also very bad, even for 1988.
Wow, but this is booby, sis.
I like that Judy was dressed as Alice in Wonderland, and I didn't notice this when I first watched the movie, but watched it time and time again. I realised that she's dressed as Alice in Wonderland and she ends up being like the actual Alice in Wonderland by the end of the film. There's obviously some iconic moments in this film, like the dance scene with Angela, the lipstick scene with Susie. There's also some great quotable lines, especially from Stooge.
Eat a bowl of
And of course, Susie bending over in the store. I love the simplicity of the rules of beating this curse and these demons, and it's you just have to climb over the wall, over the stream that's underneath the ground, and that's it. There is funny moments where Roger's the first one to leave, and he's like, I'm out of here, and he goes back out towards the gate where they came in, but the gate's no longer there, it's just a wall that's there, and he's slapping the wall like, how can I get out? Where is the gate? And he's slapping a brick wall as if, oh, I'll find the gate by slapping a wall. The film had a $1.2 million budget. I don't know if that's huge back in the day for a film like this, but with $1.2 million, they certainly went to work on the practical effects. I think the practical effects were absolutely fantastic and they hold up today. There was some CGI used, like for the floating demon head and stuff, but there was nothing spectacular and nothing to put you off, but the practicals were fantastic. There was a great little bookend story in this film at the beginning and the end, and it involved an old man who doesn't like Halloween, and he drops his apples, and you can see that he's got apples and razor blades, and you wonder what he's going to do with them, but you don't see him again until the very end of the film, when it's apparent that he's put the razor blades in the apples, and his wife bakes him like an apple pie, and he starts eating it, and then the razor blades come out of his throat, and he's obviously ate the apples with the razor blades in them, and his wife is chuckling away there because she's really happy about it. And it reminds me of Trick or Treat, and I wouldn't be surprised if Michael Dougherty, who directed Trick or Treat, got the inspiration from this little segment in Night of the Demons, because the beginning and the end had no bearing at all on the story that we got throughout the film. It was just a nice little start and end to the film. Overall though, guys, apart from the dodgy acting, I think this film is fantastic. every Halloween I will watch Night of the Demons. It feels like one of the most Halloween-themed, Halloween-centric films that you'll ever see. I know that you get movies like Halloween that are called Halloween, but there's something about Night of the Demons where you see people dressed up, going to haunted houses, having fun before they all die, of course, and it's oddly something that I would have loved to have done as a teenager. I didn't get the chance to go out and have Halloween parties in abandoned haunted houses, but when you watch this film, it looks like these characters are having a great time until they're not, and it looks like the actors are having a great time as well. So, and I'm sure they did, because I hear lots of great stories from the director, Linnea Quigley, all the actors who still talk about this film fondly. They all had a really good time on set. So if they're having a good time on set, then it kind of oozes through the characters as well, albeit the characters weren't great. They weren't great actors, but the characters were really interesting. I remembered all the characters and they were all unique as well. So first of all, guys, if you haven't seen this film, save it for Halloween, because you'll love it on Halloween. But if you have seen the film, guys, and you loved it and you've got some great memories about it, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you soon.